Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another round of One Piece. Last chapter, we got introduced to Nami. Now we're going to see what she can truly do in tonight's chapters. Just want to let you all know out there in the YouTube land, out there in the YouTubes. I started up a Patreon officially. You can follow the link below, or you can just follow that and type it into your little type line there, and you scroll down a little bit more. Lowered it, lower. Oh, that's too low. Just head on over if you're interested. You are invited. It's an invitation. You're cordially invited if you want to help expand the Coqui-san writing channel. There'll be more to come, especially for the family of channels: Coqui-san Freelance Gamer, Coqui-san Japan, and of course the home channel, Coqui-san. So if you're interested, if you want to join in and on this wonderful journey, just head on over to Patreon and show your support. I got a Patreon poll set up for one of three manga for you, the viewers, want to vote for me to cover the first 12 chapters and every subsequent chapter blocks for various manga. I am swaying side to side because I think I'm Stevie Wonder and Brain Charles combined. I'm actually a Muppet. I'm really a Muppet. That's why my hands are up here like this. So, just thought I'd let you all know on that. So yeah, let's not waste time. We got ourselves a reading to do. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 9, Femme Fatale. And there she sat on the windowsill of a building. Nami, with a big smile on her face and her feet kicking side to side, looked down at Luffy, watching her with intent as all the pirates from Buggy's crew laid out and knocked out. Ah, together we could make a fortune. That's right. I steal treasures from pirates, like you, Nami said, the pirate robber herself, constantly thumping her heels on the edge of the windowsill. Dude, I don't want to team up with you, Luffy said, walking away without a care in the world. Nami jumped off the windowsill, landing on her feet. Ah, wait a minute. As she landed, she hurried over to him and pointed her finger at his face. Why did you get mad? Why did you get so mad when that guy touched your hat? Is it valuable? I might be able to make some money off of it. This hat is my treasure, dude, Luffy said, gripping his hand on the hat, making sure she doesn't snatch it. Treasure? Do you keep jewels hidden in it? Or a treasure map? She said, walking alongside Luffy as they head down the street. Oh, leave me alone. I've got things to do. And as the clouds flow through the sky above the town, there was a bunch of sounds being made on the roof of a nearby tavern made of wood. Alright, this is going to be a tough one. Here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I did mark down to beat you, Joker. You know, well, you see, you still haven't caught that thief yet. Oh, that was terrible. That's a bad voice. Well, now, you still haven't caught that thief. Alright, close enough. You still haven't caught that thief. We're still searching for her, Captain Buggy, the pirate said with his hand up and sweat flowing down his brow. This is inexcusable. Oh, sorry, guys. How could you let the map of the Grand Line get stolen? And just when we're about to head there, Buggy said, gritting his teeth and his eyes flamed in anger. And we will raise some hell. Well, you see, sir, Captain Sir, however, the key to the map room got left in the lock, and only the robber knows. What do you say? I said rubber knows. What? Rubber knows? Yikes! And all sorts of material fly through the air, chairs, axes, barrels, all crashing down onto the ground. Buggy leaned close to his pirate. The pirate, immediately with his hands up, shielding his face, tears falling down his eyes, let out a loud gulp. Does my nose look funny to you? You think it looks funny? Huh? No, it's a mistake. I meant the thief. So now it's a steak. It looks like beef. But for this, you shall die. Captain, wait, another set. The pirate fell onto the ground, his mouth agaped, sharp like a shark's teeth, eyes bulging out like a cartoon. Fear completely racked him in place. And Buggy asked one simple little question. Who am I? I can't breathe. I can't breathe, Captain Buggy. The pirate said, with his hands wrapped around his neck. The pirate lifted up into the air, his feet twiddling on the ground, gasping for air, as Buggy sat quietly on his chair, with his crew surrounding him, watching the pain continue. He's using the power, one of the pirates said, as everyone gasped, of the brute of the devil. Doom. And there Buggy sat, with his hand on his face and his leg propped on the arm of the chair. A nice chilled look. He only simply said one thing. Ready the cannon. To which the crew behind him stood in a heavy metal album pose. Pirate Captain Buggy the Clown smiled intently. I never... Spare me. As the pirate continued to float in the air, coughing at his pain, Buggy pointed right at him as the crew aimed the cannon right at the crotch of their crewmate. Blast him to pieces! Ah! Screamed the pirate, and a loud boom blared across the sky as Buggy pulled onto his cloak like a cape, walking past his top crewmates. And get me my map. And take everything of value from this town. Aye, Captain Buggy, sir, said the crew, all in unison. Meanwhile, back at the town, Nami and Luffy sat inside a tavern, having their little conversation. Weird. So you lost your crew at sea? How big is your crew? Dude, it's just one other guy. Is this your house? No, my work keeps me on the move. I don't know whose house it is. This town is practically deserted. Everyone wants to stay far away from the tavern as possible. That's where Buggy and his pirates are. Nami said, sitting on the table, continuing on with the conversation. Are Nami and his men really that scared? I am Nami. Buggy is the pirate. Don't mix me up with him. Buggy, Nami continued, is the infamous Captain Happy Buccaneer. They say some kids in a village made fun of his nose. Buggy's cannons blew the villagers to smithereens. Nami said to the image of Buggy, holding his hands in a Hadouken position. And what's more, I've heard the Buggy has mysterious powers. Luffy said, looking towards the door. I wonder why there's no one around here. And Nami slams her hand on the table in furious rage. I told you that everybody ran because they're scared of Buggy. Oh, Luffy looked back at her. So you're looting the abandoned houses. Awesome. Of course not. I are pirates, not pillagers, she yelled. Ah, I'm not some low-down looter. You're giving me a headache, she said, rubbing her forehead. Ha 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 ha. Luffy smiled with his arms crossed. Take it easy. Ah, she sighed. I've got to get 100 million berries, Nami said. Then I'm gonna buy a certain village. Buy a village? For 100 million berries? That's a lot of money, even for a great pirate. Ah, I've got a plan. Nami reached into her pocket and pulled out a roll of paper. See this? I just stole it. It's a map of the Grand Line. After I steal the Buggy the Clown's treasure, I'm gonna head for the Grand Line. Oh. That caught Luffy's attention as Nami continued. And then I'll steal the treasures of being bigger pirates. What do you think? Nami said, holding the map outward with a big smile on face. Team up with me and you'll make a fortune. I could use a tough guy like you. We'll split the loot 50-50. Hey, Luffy said. Do you know anything about navigating? What? Of course I do, Nami said. Nami said with her fist outward and her hand clenching her elbow. I'm the best navigator around. I love the sea. Wow, that's awesome. We're headed for the Grand Line too. Really? Yeah, and you could be our navigator. Will you join my pirate crew? Luffy had a big smile on his face and his arms wide open. To which Nami responded, Naughty! And Luffy suddenly went quiet. I didn't know that you were a pirate, Nami said with her arms outreached, waving in a negative no. Forget everything I said. I'd never team up with you. Yeah, I get it. You're after some fantastic treasure, and you keep that map in that hat of yours. She pointed at his hat. I told you, there's no map in my hat. Luffy immediately clenched his hat. Then why is that raggedy old hat so precious to you, liar? I treasure this hat because an awesome dude gave it to me a long time ago. My righteous friend. That's when I swore I'd gather a crew and become a pirate. Because piracy is awesome. Especially if it's copyright. Ugh, copyright. I hate those no words. Pirates are so fooly, especially the ones who take the copyright. These are some crazy times. Luffy said with putting his hat back on his head. And there's one thing in this world I really hate. It's pirates. But I love money. And tangerines. I want tangerines. You have tangerines, don't you? Give me them. Give me them. Dude, you got a tangerine addiction? No, I really don't. Stop looking at me. I'm not scratching my neck for nothing. Ugh, this guy is a stupid, worthless plunderer. He doesn't seem to have anything worth stealing. But maybe he could still be of use to me. So, how about it? Want to be my navigator? Are you deaf? I told you to forget about it. You're no good pirate. I got it, Nami said with a smirk. But you seem to really need a navigator, so I'll consider it on one condition. She waved at him as Luffy listened on. Really? What's your condition, dude? Just a little thing. It's nothing really. Go with me to see Buggy. Oh, you got it. Let's go see him. Haha. Where is this Buggy dude? Luffy got up immediately and just started walking away. Nami, in shock, immediately stopped him. Hold on. I have to get ready. Oh, what's that rope for? Oh, we're gonna do things to Buggy. And I always carry the rope. Yeah. Nami said, walking alongside him. And she thought, so, you want to be a pirate, do you? Her smile and deception continued on as the sky continues to push the clouds along. It's just at the end of the street. That's the tavern where the pirates hang out. They stood at the edge of the street, staring at the tavern ahead. Complete and total silence and quiet. So, Luffy said, What are we going to do there? He started walking forward.
Well,
Nami unfurled the rope. Huh? Luffy got caught off guard.
you'll see.
She immediately flipped the rope around and wrapped it around Luffy, immediately tying him like Wonder Woman.
When we get there, Mr. Pirate Beaches.
And she put the squeeze on him and tied up the knot. Dude, what are you doing? If you were into this stuff, we had plenty of empty homes to go to. We couldn't have to go to the tavern.
That's not the plan.
Meanwhile, back at the tavern. What? You let that thief get away? You telling me a little tot outran 3 of my best men? Buggy yelled, leaning close to his crew. 1,000 pardons, Captain Buggy, please. The middle one immediately pleaded with his hands up. But sir, boss, the guy in the straw hat was really strong. All 3 of them beaten up, begging for mercy. You, for this you would die. No! Ah! All 3 crewmen screamed. Captain Burger. Hey, what is this now? It's the map stealer. The conehead wearing hat guy said, pointing out at the door. She just walked in the door. Good. Bring her here. I mean, play that. What's her name? Why'd she come back for? Captain Buggy said, sitting back on his seat, looking out at the crew as they try and keep up with him. It's me, but she's here. Very well. Bring her to me. Captain Buggy. Captain Buggy, it's him. She's with him. Yeah, he's the guy who fell out of the sky. Ugh. Nami stood before everyone, dropping Luffy right on the ground, tied up.
Captain Buggy, I've captured a thief.
Nami raised up the map and presented it to Buggy as he sat very quietly on his throne.
And here's your map.
Hey, dude, you tricked me. That's not righteous.
Bleh.
Nami stuck her tongue out at Luffy. You're returning the map, Buggy said with a smile. What's all this about?
I had a dispute with my employer. He's an idiot, so I thought I'd join up with you.
Nami said with a great big smile. Huh? Idiot, eh? You got spunk. I think I will let you join my crew. Ain't that right, crew? Laugh with me. Buggy's so funny. Yeah. To which Nami thought, in her mind,
Infiltration accomplished.
She smiled gleefully.
Now to get our Buggy's treasure and the map to the Grey Land and make a quick getaway.
Duh. Luffy sat in the closed cage, tied up, looking in pure anger. Dude, just forget about joining my crew now.
I said I never wanted to join your crew, but keep up with the room here.
Meanwhile, at the dock of the town, Zolo arrives with the 3 members of Buggy crew he rescued. They all docked and ready to disembark. This is it, Master Zolo. It looks like a ghost town. Where is everyone? Well, you say, sir. We've taken over the town.
Yeah, well, what'll we tell Captain Buggy? We're coming back empty-handed.
We'll just have to tell him the truth. It's all that girl's fault. Come on, take me to your captain. Zolo stood with his hand gently caressing the hilt of his sword. Maybe he knows where Luffy is. Alright. Chapter 9, One Piece, Eiichiro Oda. One Piece, Chapter 10, by Eiichiro Oda. Incident at the Tavern. The map of the Grand Line is mine again, Buggy said at the tavern, the drinker pub. And we have a new crewmate. Everything is going our way. Everybody raise a glass. Live it up, man. Here's to our next conquest. And the entire crew started celebrating on circus acts and circus clowning on the tables and across the floor, chugging along the alcohol and beer, all screaming in collective hooray. Nami, Buggy said, are you knocking them back? Nami immediately raised her beer stein up with a single roar.
Aye, aye, Captain Buggy.
And the whole celebration continues together. She drinks alongside one of the crew. Time for drinking contest with new girl.
Ah, you're on.
And they chugged one whole gulp, a whole single gulp of beer like no other.
Ah, I win.
Wow! The crew cheered on as her opponent collapsed on the ground in a drunken stupor. And as she wiped a slipper of beer off her face, she thought to herself,
nobody can outdrink me. At this rate, they'll pass out soon. Then the treasure will be mine. Pirates are such great, easy prey. They're dumb.
Meanwhile, in the cage, Luffy grits his teeth on the metal bar, trying to chomp it off, ripping it with his teeth. Chomp, dude! To the sounds of chang, chang, chang. Chomp! And he continues watching on as he continues to bite into the metal. Dude, looks like they're having fun. I want to have fun too. Could somebody hand me some beer? That's what a pirate's supposed to do, you know. I'm so bad. I'm gonna start my own party with blackjack.
Ah, how you doing, boss?
Nami said, crouching before him. Hey, let me out of here, dude. And get me something to eat. I'm starving. But thanks for the free view.
Ah, keep your eyes forward.
Yeah, that tastes good. Yeah. What the heck did you feed me? You're not so bad after all. Maybe I'll let you join my crew after all.
Ah, never. Why do you keep switching between rejecting me and accepting me? Don't you realize what's going to happen to you? They'll probably sell you off somewhere and make a whole lot of money. Money that I don't plan to steal, too. But hey, if you ain't playing wax, maybe I'll give you the key to this cage.
She said with a smile on his face. Really? You don't seem so bad for a pirate. Then let me out of here now. Buggy continued laughing with a beer in his hand, and his mouth gaped wide open that a fly flew in. Nami, in fear, completely caught off guard, gasped. You picked the wrong partner, little thief, Buggy said. Partner? She's not my partner. Not anymore, eh? Can't blame you. She betrayed you after all. The punishment for trying to steal my treasure is severe, Buggy said, leaning closer to Luffy's face. I've already decided what your fate will be. Oh, are you gonna let me go? That's a cool fate. That's right. I'm going to let you go. Of course not. I'm not going to let you go. Are you daft, boy? Load the special Buggy balls. Yay! The crew cheered and threw their beer steins up in the air, wasting a good pile of liquor. Hooray! And one of the crewmates presented a ball with a skull and crossbones of Buggy's nose. Buggy ball, ready, Captain. And there was the cannon loaded up and presented to the sky. Very well, Buggy said with a maniacal laugh. Now for a demonstration of power. The cannon was raised up, aimed, and ready for firing. Nami was shocked. Buggy smiled. Luffy was shocked. And suddenly, the cannon fired. It penetrated through all the abandoned houses, bending them into a perfect C shape. So every single one of them collapsing onto each other like a set of dominoes. And once they all landed, the dust started pluming out and pushing the air and the dirt. And Nami stood there in horror. Breathtaking! That would have leveled a smaller town. The crew cheered him on. With these buggy balls and the special powers I get from eating the devil fruit, I'll rule the Grand Line. Talk about a happy meal. Now it's your turn, girlie. Buggy immediately turned to Nami and presented her the cannon, aimed directly at Luffy and his cage. Prove your loyalty by blowing your former boss into mincemeat with this buggy ball. It'll bug out his brains. Show me you're ruthless enough to help me take over the world. Or at least get a laugh. Kill your former boss. Luffy continued looking stoic, undisturbed, unconcerned, while Nami continued to sweat bullets off the face of her brow.
You want me to kill him? That's okay, Captain Buggy. I don't need to do that. Hey!
She smiled with a great cheer.
Let's drink some more instead. Let's forget about the loser.
Do it, Buggy said, with a very, very scary face.
And
everyone continued to goad her.
Do it now, blow him to pieces. Yeah, blast him, blast him.
One raised his beer stein high up into the air.
Blood in a pot.
Do it! Yes. Luffy looked onward. Blow him to pieces. Like the Reese's.
Blast him, yeah!
And as everyone goaded Nami on, she stood next to the cannon, aimed ready.
Blow him to pieces! No, what should I do? If I don't kill him, they kill me. He's just a no-good pirate, but if I murder him in cold blood, then I'll be as bad as a pirate too. And I'm not a pirate. I just like to steal money from pirates, because that's what I am.
Luffy just stared back very quietly, unconcerned again. Nami, stop stalling and light the cannon.
Do it! Do it!
Everyone continued on goading her. Her fear now gripped onto her heart, thumping very difficult. She let out a loud ulp. She stood frozen in fear, unsure of what decision to make. With matches in her hand, she shivered. Your hands are shaking. Oh, your hands are shaking.
Huh?
She looked out at Luffy as he just smiled back at her. That's what you get for going up against pirates unprepared. His smile taught her a lesson.
Unprepared? You mean not being prepared to kill someone like it's nothing? Is that what prepared means to the pirate? Do it! Do it!
The pirates continued on goading her. No, Luffy said from within the cage.
Quit stalling!
The crowd screamed out loud, and Luffy made one final response. It means preparing to risk your life, your own life.
Blast them! Do it!
And one of the pirates approached her and snatched the matches off of her. What's the matter, new girl? Don't you know how to fire a cannon? He pushes her to the side, and she reaches underneath her skirt a set of knives tied to her thigh. It's easy. He lit the match and aimed it directly at the wick. Just put the flame to the fuse and... Suddenly, a pole extended.
Part a pole extend!
And with one whole swing, she swatted the pirate upside the head, knocking him face first on the ground. In an epic moment that shocked all the crew in a collective, huh? And their eyes turned to anger. Luffy, on the other hand, was shocked. His eyes grew wide, his mouth agape at her decision. Nami stood with her power pole in hands, taking deep, long breaths from the shock of her movement.
I couldn't help myself,
she thought to herself. Traitor! And after I welcomed you into my crew and laughed for you. Whoa, dude. I didn't know you were Dragon Ball Z. Are you gonna save me after all?
Don't be stupid. I'm just gonna nimbus out of here before I get killed. And I just got carried away, that's all. I don't want to become a pirate, a low-down murderer like all of you.
She screamed out to all of Buggy's crew.
You pirates took someone dear to me, and I'll never become what I'd had.
Oh, Luffy said from within the cage. So that's why you hate pirates. That's a deep, dark backstory. I like it. You're in my crew now. By the way, the fuse is lit. And the spark starts working its way up to the cannon, ready to explode the buggy ball. Uh-oh. And he immediately clamped his teeth onto the metal. I'm gonna die. The fuse got closer and closer. Little girl, you tried to make a fool out of me. For that you die. Die! The crew screamed out loud, all charging at her with swords brandished out. And some weird whirling thing one of them is holding up for some weird reason.
The fuse is lit, still lit.
And the fuse got closer to the edge, ready to set off the cannon. Luffy continues biting down into the metal cage. Nami unsure what to do. Darn, I'll be blown to bits. And just as the pirates got closer with the sword swinging right at her, Nami swung her power pole. And surprisingly enough, all of them bounced or dropped under it, or bounced over it, completely causing the swing to miss. To which the crew pointed that out. You missed! The fuse got even more closer, even though it should have exploded by now. No way. No way, dude. I'll never give up. Believe it. I'm gonna Naruto this pipe out of the way and I'll escape. Nami continued the fight on, only for her power ball to get knocked off. And she immediately hurried over to the cannon, and with her bare hands, she grabbed the spark. Burning the very palm of her hands, she screamed in pain. Hey, look out, Luffy said with his eyes wide open. Behind you. Yar! The knives swung downward onto her back, the blades ready to pierce her skin and kill her instantly. When suddenly, out of nowhere, Solo T-posed them. How many pirates does it take to handle one girl? You guys are weak. Nami looked back at the T-posing Zolo, completely impressed, possibly falling in love. In pure joy and happiness, Luffy screamed out, Solo! Solo! The crew was in shock and awe as they saw their crewmates land on the ground, nursing their pain. Solo stood before Nami, looking down on her. Are you hurt?
No, I'm okay.
She looked up while sitting on her knees in shock. And Luffy replied, Phew, I'm glad you found me, dude. Now get me out of here. Huh. Solo said, always goofing around, huh? And first you fly off with a bird, and now you're playing in some cage. Fool. When are you gonna let me in on this? I wanna have fun too.
Hey, did you just call him that guy Solo?
What's Solo the pirate hunter doing talking to a thief?
The crewmate he was talking about. That was Solo the pirate hunter. What's going on here? What is wrong with this world? Are we living in a society now?
Well, you're Roanoa Zola, eh? Buggy said, standing right beside the pirate hunter. You must have come to capture me. I gave up pirate hunting. I have no interest in you. You go ahead and do what you want with this town. Well, I'm interested in you, Buggy pointed out and flicked his knives. Killing you would be a nice feather in my cap. Hey, back off before I pluck all your feathers, Solo said while holding his swords tightly before everyone. Get him, Captain Buggy! Cut him to pieces! The crew screamed out. Give me your all. You got, pirate hunter, 'cause I'm about to get a look at your blood and see what type you are. Oh.
Okay, you asked for it.
Ah! And in one fell swing, Solo split Buggy into pieces. Hey, that was too easy. Did you use a axe?
No way.
And the pirate crew just stood there with a smirk in their faces, unconcerned of the result of this match. Chapter 10, One Piece by Ichiro Oda. Review and commentary. Man. But this was a nice extension of Nami. We see that she's a very cheerful character. She's not bad, how they presented her. I find it very interesting because in the live action again, they all come together at the marine terminal, and the changes between the live action and the manga are very glaring. Buggy has the map to the Gray Line, whereas it was Captain Morgan in the live action that had it. And not only that, but they established, of course, that she didn't want to. What a great liberty. I mean, like, they had to really condense it, but it's very interesting to see that it was Buggy that they took the map from, as opposed to Captain Morgan. I really like this image here. This is a very nicely drawn image of Captain Buggy. What a way to introduce him. You can really see his personality right off the bat. That he's a very laid back pirate, but he'll get serious if things don't go his way. But getting back to Nami here, it's really amazing. It's really amazing that that the three of them getting together happened this late. In the arc, we went through. I think we did Luffy's origins. Then we did the whole entire mini arc, that opening arc with Captain Morgan, and we still hadn't gone to Nami yet. It was just establishing Zolo and Luffy together, and now we see Luffy, getting to know Nami. When she joins in, not sure, but one thing's for sure. This was this is very interesting to see. It's very pacing. It's got like a different pace. You could really see the difference in pacing here. The manga really allowed Oda to stretch the introductions of the pirate crew across multiple arcs, whereas in the live action, because it's so condensed, they had to really cut off a lot of stuff here. We haven't even gotten the live action show what happened to the townspeople. We haven't even gotten to that. We also didn't get to have his buggy ball cannon. Where's the buggy ball at? It was crazy. That was in chapter 10. Well, we'll go to chapter 10 in a second. But it's pretty uncanny for me, because I did start off while I'm watching the live action and seeing how this is played out in the manga. I'm glad. It makes me glad that I went with this. I really like right here on the bottom left here. That's very excellent how they set up Buggy before we see him fully with the shading of the eyes and everything. Really shows how menacing he can be without any trouble. She's very playful though. I like how she's introduced here compared to the live action. I know I'm gonna be comparing a lot, but she's very playful here at the start, and she really is very assertive of not wanting to do piracy. And then we get to really see just how Buggy really treats everybody. He's very, very menacing. And again, right over here when he's walking away, pulling on his cloak there, that it's like Oda really maintaining the menacing feel to it and the fear. This was a great conversation that was set up over here. Really established what's going on with the whole town and such. Saying one of a good example of exposition, because you don't know what's going on, but somebody does, and you need the information. And most importantly, Luffy doesn't know, so neither do we know. So having so this is a good example of exposition if ever you're looking for to do exposition, right, in your storytelling. If you're ever writing a story or doing a manga and you wanna, or a comic, and you want to pull off an exposition, this is a good example of good exposition, because we don't know what's going on here, but at the very least we get the information, at least a piece of information that Buggy took over, and that there's nobody around, while maintaining a nice steady flow of speech. It didn't sound when I was speaking it off kilter, like they didn't sound stilted or anything. Their dialogue flowed very nicely and provided all the information we need. And then right off the bat, we already established that she already got the map of the Grand Line, as opposed to live action where they had to, look for it. And this is a nice way to establish how these two communicate with each other. And we'll get to see that grow alongside Zolo as time moves along. And we really get to see, a very, very strong dilemma that she's going to have down the line, because she's talking about how she doesn't want to deal with pirates, but she wants to steal from pirates for some reason, for some odd reason. Let's see here. It's kind of, you can really see the conflict. I mean, her personality is all over the place, but that's on purpose, and that's good, because she's got because she's doing a moral dilemma. She doesn't like pirates, so she doesn't want to join the pirates, but she's stealing from pirates, but she's not showing too much concern for the town either, because it's abandoned. It's like, where's the people? I don't care. I got my map. I got my money. So she's definitely got a very unique moral compass here, because we find out later on where her compass lies. Cool thing about it, although a little weird, but but it's cool that they established that she loves money and she loves tangerines. So it's good. It's good to see not only her physics. An interesting way to draw out her physics in that one panel, but again, it gets us a little closer to see her beyond being a navigator, pirate, thief, thief, pirate, or whatever she. Robin Hood. There we go. She's not a Robin Hood. She's more than just a Robin Hood. You know what I'm saying? Her expressiveness is very welcoming. She knows when to smile deceptively too. That's one of the cool things that's being shown here. You know what I'm saying? Like in her regular conversation, she's just having, she's very expressive, hands down. You know what I mean? And when she gets an idea, she gets that nice little smirk. But when is she? See, like right here on the top right, that's a natural smile. Like she was surprised. And there's another natural looking face there. That's the real Nami. Before she says parrots of Fui, that's really her natural face. But then you could really see the deceptive face, that little smirk there, and she's just maintaining that smirk. I think that's a little too much, honestly. It's a little too much, But given that this is Luffy, he never can read the room. He never can read the room. As for Buggy, it's it's a little bit much, if you want my honest opinion, having all these gaped mouths open consecutively. It should be used sparingly. Because I get it, he's supposed to be screaming and everything, but it's just too much. It's not a bad thing. I mean, he's got to express it, but still. Look at even the distance on panel number 4 of page 24 there. His mouth has a triangular shape. It's like, come on, man. The transitions again from scenes to scenes have been done very well. Are very well executed. Like right here, we're in Buggy's little location. Then we jump over to this spot here, one of the houses. So it doesn't feel jarring and inconsistent. And then it jumps us right back to the tavern very easily at the roof. And then finally we get Zolo. Again, another good transitional jump here. This is a good transitional jump showing Luffy getting captured, being locked up and everything. So overall, this was a good chapter. Very well done. Very well paced. Which brings us to chapter 10. Let's get to chapter 10. Give me chapter 10. Doesn't want to give me chapter 10. Oh dear. There we go, chapter 10. Chapter 10, where now we see Nami, of course, having fun with the pirates as part of her deception. And as part of her deceptive move, establishes that she doesn't have a problem drinking alcohol, which is good. You know what I'm saying? Because it's they're all adults. You know what I mean? Considering that this is a shonen jump for teens, this is a shonen manga. It's very interesting showing that showing the beer. From a cultural standpoint, that this isn't a problem being depicted for the young over in Japan. 4 kids would definitely wipe that out. They would erase the beer. I find it funny that Luffy is chewing his way through the bars. Honestly, his feet are free. I think he could have done something with that, because the good move is that his arms are tied up, so he can't stretch his arms out to grab things. But I think his legs could have done something. So all we're just getting is one big party. But this is the one thing that was awesome. That I think was a very awesome show here. And that was the Buggy Ball. Buggy's ultimate attack, I guess. And what a great drawing image. That had to have been so difficult, pulling off the curvature of all those buildings while maintaining the windows, what you call those blasted outdoor things, not the windowsills, the thing you stand out. Now it escapes me. But like I said, the whole entire detail here, when he demonstrates it, is pretty amazing. That couldn't have been very easy for Oda to do, making those curves while maintaining the look of wood and brick and glass on those houses. I mean, just look at the door over here on the second house. To the right, look at how that door is bent down. It still has that little dot there for the knob. And then made sure that it completes with the big bang at the far end. He really captured that very well. And then we see the results of the house's collapses, and of course show that they enjoy doing those things, which is pretty cool. And now we get the moral dilemma of Nami. Because she doesn't want to be a murderer. Pirates, let's be real here. Then we say pirates are cool, but they're criminals. And here we have a criminal act happening here, and that is to basically murder Luffy. The murder of Luffy, and it's something that Nami can't do, and she's scared. She really did put herself in the corner, and good on Luffy to call her out on that one. To really call her out that. And of course that leads to the power pole. I'm calling it the power pole. I don't care if she has a name. Unless she names it, I'm still gonna call it Powerball. And we get to see that despite all of her deceptive tricks and everything, she really can't fight. She was able to catch him off guard, but when it comes to full-on combat, she can't do it. And again, to compare that to the live-action TV series, where she already had the experience of fighting, this is actually good. She uses it primarily for defense. She doesn't know how to take the initiative and use it for initiative purposes. I find it funny that the fuse, like a ticking, like the cliche ticking bomb things, like closer, 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 closer. But nevertheless, I like that when she swung, you didn't get the Luffy kick. It really shows that Luffy's long range kick, he had that from experience, but she has zero experience in combat. And I'm sure down the as the manga goes along, her experience is gonna be cool. It's gonna be in combat is gonna be much more higher. But yeah, she this shows a test of her character when she grabs the fuse and takes the pain. She really took the pain on that one, and she was willing to lose her life on this because these guys really should have killed her. Which leads, of course, to the most epic T-pose I'd ever seen. Just one big whack with two swords from Zolo. Talk about the big hero moment. Although we all know nothing was going to happen to Luffy, but she doesn't know that, and that really helps showing her character. She, you know what I'm saying, she's a good kid. She's a good kid. She's just conflicted. She's got a conflicted situation going here. I think they could have did a little bit more here with Zolo. You know, a little bit more dialogue. To point out, always goofing around. I think he should have goofed a bit. I know he's being too serious, but he could have goofed just a little bit, you know. And now we end up with a big time fight. Zolo versus Buggy, which we're going to be seeing in the next chapters. Next time. Yes, indeed. So, that's cool, Viking Pirates. So, overall, Chapter 9 and Chapter 10 was very good. We got to learn more about Nami and her personality. We got to see what kind of person Buggy is and how demented he is. I'm sure we haven't seen all of it yet in the manga. We see how Nami engages in combat and see that she truly is over her head. And Luffy provided at least one sense of guidance at the level of Shanks, which is pretty cool when he called her out on it. That was definitely a Shanks move he did there, and it shows that what he learned from his friend Shanks really did pay off, because now, you know, as a captain, he is guiding what will eventually be his crewmates, his next crewmate, on the whole thing. So yeah, man. That was One Piece. Thank you all for joining me. Don't hesitate to comment, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts on the whole thing. And head on up over to my Patreon if you want to join in the poll, on the Patreon poll, and figure out which manga you would like for me to cover. Yeah, there you go. So thank you all for joining me for One Piece. Let's read One Piece. And I wish you all a good night, buenas noches, and oyasumi nasai.